Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is the first video in a new series that I'm calling Term of the Week. And the first term I'd like to cover is cash on cash return. I'm going to show you what cash on cash return is as it relates to real estate. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can calculate it and some guidelines on how you can use it for your next deal. So let's get it. Alright, so if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to know what cash on cash return is, how to calculate it, and how you can use it. But before we get started, I'm asking you to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's get right into it. First thing you need to know is that there's three main ways to evaluate a deal. The first is cap rate, the second is IRR, which stands for internal rate of return, and the third is cash on cash return. Cap rate does not take into consideration your loan, which we are going to use, so we do not want to use cap rate. IRR, or internal rate of return, takes into account a lot of future stuff and is not very useful for small multifamily or single family houses, but it's more geared towards large multifamily properties. The third, and the one we're going to be talking about today, is cash on cash return. Simply put, cash on cash return is your cash flow divided by your initial investment. Next, we need to understand what initial investment means. Your initial investment is going to include your down payment, your closing cost, and any of your renovations that you need to make in order to make this unit rent ready. So now you might be saying, what is cash flow? Well, that's going to be another video. However, simply put, cash flow is your rents minus all of your expenses. So what are expenses? Well, your main expenses are going to be your mortgage, your interest, your insurance, your capital expenditures, your property tax, and your property manager. You're going to have a few other expenses, but those are your big ticket items. Let me show you an example of how you're going to calculate this stuff. Okay, so first, let's figure out our cash flow. Let's say our rent is $1,000 and our expenses are $600. So we're going to take our rent minus our expenses, and that leaves us with $400 in cash flow per month. Okay, now that we have our monthly cash flow, let's convert that to yearly cash flow. So we're going to take 400 times that by 12, and we're going to get 4,800. That is our yearly cash flow. Okay, now that we have our yearly cash flow, let's figure out our cash on cash return. So let's say the house we purchased cost $100,000. We have to put 20% down. So we're going to times that by 20%. That's going to give us $20,000 for a down payment. We have 4% in closing cost, which is going to be $4,000. Add those together, we have $24,000 as our initial investment. Now to figure out cash on cash return, we're going to take our cash flow, which is $4,800. We're going to divide that by our initial investment, which is $24,000. That is going to give us a 20% cash on cash return for this deal. Now, while 20% cash on cash return isn't too bad, I look for 25% cash on cash return as a minimum for my deals, but you need to keep in mind, I am in a low appreciating market. That means the house price and value does not go up very much, and so the cash flow is going to be better. I know that many investors that are located in higher appreciating markets are going to have their standards much lower as far as cash flow, some as low as 6%, because they can make up for it on the back end with their houses appreciating in value. These investors are also probably going to be looking at internal rate of return rather than just cash on cash return as well. Also, I buy and hold properties, so the property value doesn't really mean that much to me. The only time it does is when I go to cash out refinance it, then the appraisal of the property does matter. And that is because the more it appraises for, the more equity that I can pull out to throw into another deal. Also, I could just throw my money into the S&P and earn about 12% without doing any work at all. So if I'm going to do all the work for real estate investing, I'm going to expect a higher return. And with that, I'm going to end this first video on term of the week. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.